Hey Frank, how you doing, brother?
The Punisher, easily one of Marvel's most gritty, one of Marvel's most tenacious, one of Marvel's most barbaric heroes to ever been published. This character is finally getting another piece of content other than me seeing him in Daredevil Born Again Season 2, and such, and I'm really glad for that. And the reason I am pretty glad for that is because John Berthel does such a good job of playing said character. And when people like a guy or an actor who's playing said character, we want more. We've had Charlie Cox as Daredevil, John Berthel as Punisher, so on and so forth. We want to see more. And I'm so glad that we're getting more of this character. But instead of really talking about it, let's really get into it. Let's really dive into The Punisher One Last Kill is a 45 to 60-minute Marvel special presentation starring John Berthel, featuring a dark, violent, psychological, complex story where Frank Castle is forced into hiding. This seems like a pretty cool plot, and it's very different to what you would expect from a Punisher story. As I said before, guns blazing, high action, a lot of it. You would expect explosions and such, but this seems very different, at least very somber. Now, this trailer does take off, at least at the end, and it does show more of the action, which looks really good, I'll tell you that. And I don't know what to exactly expect from this. Not in a bad way. I just don't know what to, I guess, really predict. Because I feel like this story could go in so many different ways. Now, it says here that Frank is forced into hiding, but I have a theory that he isn't exactly forced into hiding. He more so just quit being the Punisher due to the events of a friend passing. That friend being Curtis Howell, who was actually a veteran just like him, and also an ally. And I think maybe in an AVTF, inspection when looking for Frank Castle, boom bam, Curtis ended up passing away or ended up getting, killed by one of the agents, and Frank was overwhelmed with guilt, and he just felt as though he could not be the Punisher anymore. You know what I mean? So he just dropped the mantle. And this is not like something that is new. This guy has not been the Punisher for a bit as well. Season 1 of The Punisher, Daredevil Born Again Season 1. It's not like if he's the Punisher 24/7 all the time. There's times where he's also Frank Castle or just lying low. And I really want to know where this story goes. It also says that in this plot, he saves a little girl and her family, because that little girl reminds him of his daughter, or he's essentially forced to act. So this is a kind of reluctant, I guess, hero type of story where Frank has to go back into this world, or is plunged back into this war against crime, never-ending war against crime, due to, I don't know, an event that is similar to his origins. And that would be really cool. I think this looks really nice. The action looks very solid and grounded and very gritty. And one thing I really like about Marvel television now, it's just how different each show feels. Like Born Again has its own feel as well. And so does the Netflix series, the original Netflix series. They are so different from each other. But one thing I really like about this one is that they all feel so disconnected. Like, it's hard to believe that The Punisher One Last Kill takes place in the same universe as Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 1, 2, and 3 and Avengers Infinity War. It's kind of hard to believe they take place in the same exact universe. And that's not a bad thing. It's actually kind of cool. I just like how it, disconnected, or I guess interconnected everything is, and just how different everything is from each other. You know what I mean? It makes for some pretty interesting stories and standalone stories. Wonder Man was completely different from anything we had seen, and I liked Wonder Man a great deal. So, what do you guys think about this? Do you guys think about, well, based on what I've seen, a lot of people love this. I'm guessing you guys will love this too. I do like this as well. I'm excited. Hey, more John Berthel Punisher, sign me up. I want to see more of it. A matter of fact, you know what? Give us an Iron Fist and Luke Cage team up series as well while you're at it. You know what I mean? I like what I see. And do expect great things from this. I know this is just a first look, but Jon Bernthal is a great actor, and he was great as Punisher in almost all the media he was presented in. And I expect him to just be just as great, if not even better, or even his best maybe here. You know what I mean? Since this is his own standalone series, this is probably the closest thing we'll get to a Punisher movie. And you know what? I'm all here for it. But let me know what you guys think. And I'll see you guys until next time. Peace.